Astolfo fact of the day. Astolfo canonically have A+ luck as one of his stats, meaning that everything that involves luck or RNG, Astolfo have a 99% chance to get things his way. That also means that Astolfo is a symbol of extreme good luck. Hello, hello! Hello to all big shots, wildcards, humans, ghosts or any other being you may be. We, the Skulk, join you out temporarily, because a risk of strike doesn't mean I can leave you out without Astolfo facts. You get your facts no matter what. Today I come to talk about Astolfo's personality and how it's portrayed. For those who have not watched Fate Apocrypha, people have the ability to summon beings from the past who have passed away as long as you got something related to them. For example, in the world of Fate, after I pass away I would be summoned if someone used my necklace or something similar. With this logic established, we can separate the main characters into either masters or servants. Masters are those who summon someone. Servants are those summoned. Astolfo is one of which was summoned, meaning he too have a master. Her name is Selenik. Now, you may ask yourself, how the hell is all of this connected to Astolfo's personality? And it's very simple. The canon personality and the phantom personality are not the same at all. If you spend even the slightest time seeing anything Astolfo related that is not the anime itself, you definitely saw Astolfo rather questionable personality, which is actually totally different from his canon personality. Canon Astolfo is sweet, kind, very playful, not shy at all, and willing to risk his life to save others. This is not simple, and I'm explaining the personality for the sake of the facts. Phantom Astolfo is still confident, but in a very different way, with rather questionable traits of lust and numbness. Why would I put questionable? Phantom Astolfo and Canon Astolfo have nothing to do with one another personality-wise. A fun thing about this though is Astolfo's master, Selenik. Astolfo's mistress is a lot closer to what people see Astolfo as. Canon Selenik is, oddly enough, almost the exact same as Phantom Astolfo, which is an interesting fact when you think about it. The internet sees Astolfo as a lustful, again said for the sake of explaining, being, which does not match at all with Canon Astolfo, but matches perfectly with Astolfo's mistress Selenik. For those who don't know, canon means it's official and phantom is how most fans / the community sees them. Don't know why I'm explaining this, we are on the internet, you probably already know that, but still. That's your Astolfo fact of the day, everyone. I hope you learned something new and see you all soon. Hello everyone, how are you? Fine, thank you. I come today with a brand new Astolfo fact. Today we'll be talking about looks. One, and probably the biggest reason Astolfo grew so much famous in popularity is its appearance. A boy with a cute, feminine look. Would you ever really stop to think why he have that appearance? Probably not, so I'm here to give you an explanation. Astolfo, unlike some other people think, is not trans, nor identify as anything except a boy. A proof of this is when one character finds out his gender and Astolfo laughs while surprised that he was thought to be a girl. But if Astolfo identifies as a boy, why the feminine look? The answer is simple: cuteness. That's cuteness. Astolfo likes to look cute, and that is why he uses those clothes, that hairstyle much more. He likes to be cute, and it just so happens that cute and feminine are very similar.
Until we meet again!
Hello my every server friends. I come once again to share with you random info. This time though, we enter new territory away from our favorite pink-haired boy girl, because we got an update. For those unaware, the headmaster have given an upgrade to us from the Skulk. turning our Astolfo info into random info, allowing us to branch into any and every topic that the Skulk may want. So, as a start, today's info is on Helluva Boss. Most of you may be aware of the idea of heaven and hell. Do good and go to heaven, do bad and go to hell. Helluva Boss follows this idea, with sinners going to hell with an entire new jazzy demon look, and the good people going to heaven. By theory, heaven should be the desired place to go, even though we never saw it in Helluva Boss itself, but it is to imagine it's a place you should aim for. But some things in the show may say otherwise. The first is that as you die, you keep your sense of self, personality, memories, which can lead to you and personality happening to not fit heaven, leading to you disliking your literal eternity. Another point is that as you keep your own mind, you can, and eventually probably would, commit a sin in heaven. People do 1,000 things on accident every day. Eventually one will sin. As shown in Helluva Boss itself, you will get banished from heaven if you sin, leading for you to go to hell, if human, or stuck on earth, if being born in heaven. This already raises the point that you can live an entire correct life just to get kicked out in your second day there because you, I don't know, did some sin of which I can't specify which. So your chances of going to hell are likely, since even during all of eternity you will need to stay doing no sin even on accident, otherwise you are kicked out. Another point to hell is the fact that it's mostly a law-free place. No, this isn't the point of trying to pass as good, but rather that because of being a law-free anarchy, beings of there tries all sorts of things. Which leads to my point, escaping. Oh gosh, what have I wrote here? There is in hell both ways of escaping and ways of hiding your new jazzy sinner look. Meaning that if you play your cards right, you could get your human appearance back and be back to Earth, where you continue to enjoy your time with who you love or just continue life where you had. That is, with benefits. For accurate to in Helluva Boss, once you are a sinner, you don't seem to age, or do far slower, and can only die if killed by someone. And even then we can see on the show beings of hell can tank quite a lot without dying, so even killing you would be hard. And if all of that is not enough to convince you, have I mentioned the jazzy demon look? Moral of the random info: live your life to the fullest and go after your dreams. Even if you can change the end of the story, you can make sure that the story you build until it reaches its end is something you don't regret and can be proud of.
Until we meet again!
Hello everyone, it is and I come today with a brand new random info. Today's random info is about RNG in real life. As you probably know, RNG stands for Random Number Generator, and is often used to represent luck in games, with it choosing the outcome of anything that we don't have a straight choice on, like the stats of 4 Pokemon, the item drops of a boss, if you get or not a critical hit. All of this and much more is dependent on luck, aka RNG. In real life, there also is a lot of luck involved, like a lot. Your life could have been more than 100,000 different ways it could be right now, if something not in control had happened differently or did not have happened at all. So instead of giving you a full explanation of the works of RNG, I will show you just how much luck is involved to be the most average person possible. Right as you are born, you can be born a man or a woman, with men being born slightly more. 51% of people born are boys and 49% are born girls. With that, just from borning, it's a real luck thing, with a pretty much 50% for the results. For the sake, for example, or average person is a boy. Now we need to know the most average country, which, after some researches, Brazil is the most average, meaning average person of the example would be Brazilian. So for the RNG was 1 of 2 for the birth and 1 of 195 for the possible countries to be born in. So, we know the average gender and the average country. Now we still need a name. With a quick research, we discovered the most used and therefore average name for a boy is Liam apparently. I never heard of Liam before, but alright. Now, there are so many different names that I have to estimate the number for the math purpose, so 2 for gender, 1 from 195 for country, 1 from 500,000 estimate for names, is specific for our average person which only counts the boys' names. And then there's about who your mom and dad is. In the case of taking only Brazil in consideration, there are 215,300,000 people who can end up as your mother and father, meaning 1 in 2 for birth gender, 1 for 195 in country, 1 for 500,000 for name, 2 for 250,300,000 for could be your parents. Then there's all the smaller stuff like your city. Brazil have like 5,570 cities. If your family is rich or poor, 1 in 2 chance. To what school you go to, the shows you watch as a kid, the things you are teaching growing up, if the people who study with you will end up as friends, how said friends will affect you, and how you affect them. If you yourself identify as a boy or something else, if your parents are supportive, if you have the money condition to follow your dreams, and in case you were unlucky and don't have the money, then you also need to worry about what do you do until then. If you meet someone during those months and years and fall in love, and then there's all the ways love affects someone, and it becomes too much math to calculate. I mean, even our average person can go in many different ways, all up to luck. I hope that with this random info, you got to just how much luck or RNG affects our lives every day. If you did not have heard that one phrase, or had not went online on that one time, or had waited 5 more minutes before doing something back then, or had said that thought you chose not to share, everything. I mean, everything will change. And I mean everything will change. What do we learn from this? To be grateful for where you are. Yeah, there are infinite alternative lives you could be having now that are better, but there are infinite lives you could be having now that would be a lot worse. So let's be happy with what we got and, if anything, make the most of it. Even if a lot in life is a bunch of dice rolls, you still have an impact on how you roll the dice and which dice you will roll. So make sure to keep your heads up and make the most of your life. Skill can beat luck after all, and you have skills.
Until we meet again!
Hello. The Skulk comes today with a brand new random info to you all. And this time it's about words. Have you ever wondered how it would be to live in a fictional world? A world you watch in a movie or play in a game perhaps? Well, today I'm here to analyze 5 examples, chosen by your server host Zeph. So let's analyze the fictional worlds of the Digital Circus, Dialtone, Minecraft, Pokemon, and Steven Universe. Note: in all of those, we will take a look with the idea that you are not the protagonist. You are yourself and just happen to wake up there. You just came into existence. You just appeared in a puff of smoke. You're real now. And let's see how it will be. Starting off with Steven Universe, I made dare to say that you could have a pretty peaceful life, as long as you live far away from the main attacked area, Steven's house, and the general direction of which Steven is at all times. As long as you can handle avoiding the danger that follows him, you could have a calm, peaceful life, work in a not stressful place, while enjoying the beach, arcade, and grassy grass on your free time, because who doesn't like some grassy grass? Consider on the internet, probably a lot of people. Pokemon is our next word, and it is great overall. You live in a world with all those Pokemons for you to catch, train, and lead you up. That's cool as hell! Not only the Pokemon have moves that are very powerful and let you do all sorts of things, they also get to be amazing pets even outside of combat. Who wouldn't want a cute Eevee as a pet? Imagine perhaps becoming your own gym leader one day. You and your team of 6 shiny level 100 Vaporeons with perfect stats. So, if you make eye contact with anyone, any other trainer, you better be ready to fight and to win. Otherwise you're losing your money and your dignity. On to Dialtone. This could end very, very bad for you. At first, Dialtone sounds like a good one. Live in a small town, pretty calm place. But then you gotta remember that Chris exists. Chris Cross Applesauce. Chris is the human of the city, capable of creating dark words, which said backward, dark words can be and are quite dangerous for both the ones who already live in it and those who happen to fall in. And with the game still having 3 to 5 chapters to launch, who knows what things we'll still face in there. Knowing Toby Fox, which I don't, the entire city will be destroyed and everyone will be forced into combining on the final boss or becoming statues or similar. So you get to live in that dream place of yours amid Sans Undertale at the cost of most likely dying or temporarily living in hell, because the way the city is gonna be, then yeah, it's gonna be hell. So Chris saves the day. If he does save the day, he can quite well choose the bad ending. Live in hell on earth in order to get to meet Sans Undertale? Yeah, sounds good to me. Then we get the Digital Circus. A giant circus tent with the most random adventures, random situations, random everything, all with vibrant colors. It sounds horrible and obnoxious, but there are 3 upsides that make it worth it. The first is that you forget all about your life before it, meaning any traumas, self-hate, regrets, it's all gone. A fresh start, which to some who really don't like their current life, this would come in handy. The other upside is that you do not need to sleep or eat in said digital worlds. You are free of worries, no need to work or worry about keeping yourself alive, because you are not in any danger. Besides abstracting, which can quite literally summarize to don't go insane. I get that right. It probably sounds dumb, at least reading wise, but I think you can manage to keep yourself distracted with other stuff. As long as you don't worry too much about coming back, just kind of try to accept the place you're in and just make the most of it, you probably can go a really long while without going insane. Especially considering you don't remember a lot of stuff, so a lot of the worries you would have or the bad memories wouldn't be there to make you have a hard time. So I do think this could help. The third upside is that all the crazy adventures are optional. Well, in theory optional. Even if he may force you upon them, in theory you can avoid most. That's right, if you want to just lay your head on your bed, sleep all day, every day, only getting up to do whatever things you want to do, you can. All without the worries of life, work, needing to eat, without a single memory of anything bad that ever happened in my life. It sounds like a dream. A very weird dream, but still a dream. And our last, but also probably best, Minecraft. Imagine yourself in Minecraft. What do I need to say? A giant world full of possibilities, but also the most relaxing thing you can have. You can be an adventurer and explore every cave, build everything you want, craft better armor and tools, and eventually beat the Ender Dragon. How could you kill a dragon, you cold-hearted beast? But if you don't want to do all of that, you freely got the option to have a calm life. Just get yourself a simple house, a bed, and start farming. Maybe join a village and live peacefully. Just sleep at night, plan for 30 seconds of like 5 days, and enjoy the most relaxing life one can have. And taking into consideration, you won't even get thirsty ever. And we won't get hungry if you run or get hit or need to have your health to regenerate. You don't even need food as long as you're careful at night and stay home. So yeah, if you ever need to get stuck into a fictional world and need to choose which would be the best place to spend our eternity, you know now how 5 of the impossible possibilities would be like. So choose well, and see you there one day. Maybe. Probably not, but yeah. Ever nice to say hi to all again. It's me, Skulk. I know, the Skulk in the Skulk part of the server. Shocker. Today, before bringing the random info, I would like to thank you that reads these infos I send. It ain't much, but I hope I can get a chuckle out of ya, or at least a neat. And well, since I'm already on this part, might as well thank you who is hearing me talk about it. Cause, well, you're taking part of your time just to hear me. So might as well thank you for your interest and your time you're spending here. Anyway, back to the random info of the day. Today we'll share with you about the internet. That's right, the place you are right now. You come here every day, but did you ever really stop to think how much exists in here? There are so many things around here, so many unexplored things. So let's explore today's random info, and let me welcome you to the internet.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet, come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feats? There's no need to panic, this isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet, what would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweets or racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet, put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta, here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting, he just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer. Or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option you should do your mom. Here's why women never fuck you, here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama send the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. You know,
It wasn't always
like this. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99. This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you.
Oh.
Look at you. Unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now. You're inside out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do. It was always the plan to put the world in your hands.
I can't really do any laugh.
Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
Hello everybody from the main stage. Tonight we are getting a special guest in here. They are a group of whose may not agree between themselves, but will reach quite the heights when they do. The Foul Brothers, the Fellow Foxes, the Mockery Cast, the Skulk. Today we from the Skulk come with a brand new random info for you over there. And today facts about Cringeness. Now, there must be some time in your life where you looked or heard something that made you feel embarrassed, awkward, or cringe. But ever stopped to actually think of what makes something cringe? It, just like most things, is based on two opinions. Your opinions and taste define what you like and disliked, what you consider cool or cringe. Though this comes with a dilemma. If what is cringe is based on opinion, and everyone have different opinions, it means everything is considered by someone cringe, but for some else it isn't. So how are we supposed to know what is cringe then? One thing we can use is the rule of the many. If most people think of one thing as cringe, it is indeed cringe. And if most don't consider it cringe, then it isn't. There is a good logical theory, though comes with a small flaw. If one asks along its friend group or the community it's part of, the majority will of course share a similar opinion, while for someone which is a part of another friend group and another community, their majority can, and most likely will, be different from yours, maybe even opposite. What are we trying to say with that? There will always be people who may consider what you like cringe, and people who may consider what you like cool, so why focus on them? There will always be people who will find what you do and like cool, while others may dislike it, hate it, or consider it cringe. We can't make everybody happy, but we can focus on making ourselves happy. So do what you like, be what you like, and if someone calls you cringe online, what are they gonna do? If someone wants me to change and stop being cringe, you can subscribe to my Kofi. In there you can join the highest tier, Financially Wealthy Hater, for only $20 a month. With that tier you get all the rewards from previous tiers plus some bonus. You get the right to send me insults and complaints to my special alt account made specially for you haters. Every so often I will make a video talking about the complaints you and other financially wealthy haters have sent and answer them, yours included if you subscribe to this tier. I will get you access to the anger room in my server, made entirely for you and other financially wealthy haters can all hate together. And besides of that, you also will get a thank you on the end of every video I make or stream. Hell yeah. So waste no time, enjoy my coffee, because if you truly hate me, no better way to prove it than spending money just to express your anger. Hey there everyone who happens to be cursed with my company, it is I, the same person from every other time. I come tonight to bring to you a brand new random info. Tonight random info is about you. You did not heard me wrong, it's about you. Oh you, look how far you got in life. Life threw so many things at you, so many challenges and difficulties. And yet there you are, still going, still strong, and that's wonderful. Maybe life is being harsh right now, and maybe the days look dark. But always remember that dark days are temporary, and eventually things will get better. I mean, come on, we are talking about you. Here you are, still alive, even after so much. So many people haven't been as strong as you, but you are. You're still here, and that shows how strong you are. So pat yourself on the back, get yourself something nice, take a good nap, because you deserve the best. I'm proud of you. I mean, technically random info can also be shared via an image, so I guess this gift counts as a random info? I'll add it just in case.
Yay! Little kitty dancing! Yippee! Yeah! My son. This is my child now. If you have a problem with that, you can leave. This is precious little angel. I need this cat in my life. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Hello everybody of these amazing words. It is once again the ones and the onlys, the Skulk. I'm not sure why I wrote the ones and the onlys back then, but oh well. Tonight bringing you a fun fact about nothing. That's right, nothing at all. Now, some of you may ask, how do you make a fun fact about nothing? Well, I have no idea, but we'll see how it goes. So, nothing. We all know what nothing is. Or do we? Would an empty room be a room with nothing? There is air there, so even if not filled with something you can see, it's still full. Some would say there is nothing there, but there is. Maybe nothing does not exist. After all, the lack of anything is still a thing, meaning there never is nothing. But if there never is nothing, is it even real? For that we need to know what defines something as real. Something real is something that is not imaginary. That may sound obvious, but there are some things that confuse it. Is the multiverse real? Some consider it to do even if they themselves never seen or experienced it. They make theories and research to find things to prove their points, which also brings us to the problem of explaining what is real, which indirectly affects our main question of what is nothing. How to prove something as real? Anything can be real until proven otherwise. Until something proves that a specific thing is not real, that thing can be real. The problem of that is that we can't prove something to not being real if it does not exist. You get my point? Something can be real until proven otherwise, but you can't prove something isn't real because you can't prove that something is not real until you get proof. But to have proof, the thing needs to exist to even generate proofs. If you get proofs of the thing needs to exist. If it exists, then you can't prove against it. If you have no proof, it can be blamed on you specifically not finding or the technology not being advanced enough yet. Meaning you can't prove something as not real, and any proof you can get would require the thing to exist to some level, which proves that the thing you wanted to show as not real is indeed real. With this, we reach my point. Nothing is a weird constant that abuses of the paradox that is the definition of reality. Nothing does not exist because the lack of something is a thing. But if you say that nothing exists, nobody will be able to prove you wrong, because the universe is infinite, and somewhere, somehow, there is a chance that nothing exists while at the same time not having the lack of something in it. Something that makes no sense to us, a nothing that is not the lack of all things. It sounds crazy, but that is possible, and due to the paradox of what is and isn't real, nothing may not even exist. Or it exists and we just can't understand it. Nothing may or may not exist, and no one will ever be able to prove it does or not, because to prove it as not real, you need proofs that don't exist if nothing exists. And to prove nothing is real, one will need to find nothing that isn't the lack of things, because that by itself is a thing, making the nothing into something. Hi everyone, it's me Skulk. Today I'm with random info about Deltarune. Did you know that Spento's star song, Dialtone, actually shares notes with Sen's Shaun star song, Lantern? Both songs share some melodies, except Spenton version lost some of the notes. This means you can fix Dialtone by re-adding the lost notes and doing some adjustments, all using Lantern as your base for what you want to add and change. And I guess something that I didn't say but that also works is that the Devil, the Circus song, also can be used to kind of further fix it. So in theory, with the Circus and Lantern, you can actually fix the Shaun, so the Dialtone, to its most complete state. Hi it's Skulk. Today's random info is on music. Did you know music have a rather huge impact on us? This may sound obvious, and it's because it is, but I still wanted to talk about it. Every time we hear a song, it affects us emotionally, which can make it both useful to help us do what we want, but it can also do the opposite. In some moments, the right confident song can give us the push to do that thing we so much wanted. It can give colors to our day, and so much more. Though, the wrong song at the wrong time can do the opposite. It can make us embrace the emotion of rage and end up hurting someone. Or it can make our sad nights even sadder. But not only those things can happen, but songs can be attached to things, many times. End up attaching a song, or object, or activity to something without even realizing, and this often happens with songs. Songs that when we hear, we end up thinking about someone, or some place, some memory. Makes some music can be its own trip on memory lane. A travel around time. Well, a travel around nostalgia. Quite interesting, huh? Hi everyone! It's been a while, huh? The server had a small slowdown, but I hope you are doing great. I've been doing these random infos for quite a while now, but I started to wonder, what if we shake it up a little? What if you all share here with us all a random info you know? It doesn't need to be of anything specific or specific size, just take something you like and send your own random info. Let's give some life to the server and see what random infos everyone got.
Hey it's me! Everybody's favorite #1 rated random informator 2024, DM Skulk. Back to give you all some more random info.
So, sadly the little idea of shaking things up sadly not went as expected, so I am just going to do it myself again. Today's random info is about big shots. So, as some of you may know, there's this little indie game called Deltarune, which got a small salesman called Spenton. Said salesman is very chaotic and tends to talk about all sorts of things, but one he likes to talk about the most is being a big shot. Even his songs have the lyrics, "Now just be a big shot." But ever really stopped to think what does it mean to be a big shot? I decided to do some looking, both in-game and around the internet. Even if the expression got mostly popularized due to the game, the expression exists for a very long time. After some analyzing, I got to the conclusion that being a big shot is being one of the best at something when compared to others. This means that, for example, a salesman can be a big shot if he was one of the best salesmen. A leader that is a big shot is a leader that, in comparison to the others, he is the leader, the best. With this, we get that being a big shot is the same as achieving success at a huge level, as being the best in whatever you achieve to do. Now, this does mean there are plenty of big shots. There are plenty of people that both overdo and succeed in huge levels on specific areas. But can you be the big shots? Can one succeed on being the big shots among all big shots? Well, the answer is yes, with the right motivation, effort, and determination. Any of us can become a big shot, and eventually become the big shot. So what are you waiting for? We all got dreams and goals, so let's put in the efforts to not only achieve them, but do better than anyone has ever done. Be the best there ever was at your profession. Write the best stories people have ever seen. Make the pick of a persona if that's your dream. But make sure to do your best, to show everyone how it's done. Prove it to the big shots that there are bigger shots and that you are the biggest shot. I believe in you! Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Yo soy, pero puede me llamar de el Skulk. Ahora, yo tengo una nueva información aleatoria para tú. La información aleatoria de hoy será de español. Ahora, como ya sabes, yo soy del Brasil, lo que significa que yo hablo portugués. Y esto es muy conveniente para aprender español. ¿Por qué? Yo te digo, portugués y español son muy parecidos. Muy parecidos. Como hermanos. Muchas de sus palabras son iguales o similares, haciendo más fácil el aprendizaje del idioma, pero cuando se compara inglés es muy diferente. Ahora, puedes decir, Skulk, why such a small and even more random than usual info? And why the hell is it all in Spanish? Bien, yo tengo un año de español en Duolingo hoy. Entonces quería hacer una información aleatoria en español para celebrar.